All right, boys and girls, so you learned with Mrs. Connor that when we are multiplying numbers such as 70, 700, 7,000, that we're using our basic facts to help us. So this would be a great opportunity. If you do not feel very confident in knowing your basic facts, then I would spend some time reviewing those. You can make yourself some flashcards. I know at the dollar store they sell multiplication flashcards. But you can go through and practice those so that these problems become much easier for us. So using the basic fact of 3 multiplied by 7, I know that 3 times 7 is 21, but if I'm multiplying by 70, then I have a product of 210. Likewise, if I multiply 3 times 700, I know that 3 times 7 is 21, but then I have 2 zeros here. I have a product of 2,100. And then multiplying by 7,000, I know that I still have 21, but now I have 1, 2, 3 zeros for a product of 21,000. Let's look at question number 7. 6 times 40. We're using the basic fact, 6 times 4. If you did not know 6 times 4, you could think about 6 times 2, and many of you know that that's 12. And then you could simply double your product. That was a strategy taught in 3rd grade. So 12 plus 12 is 24. 6 times 4 is 24. Add on the 0 because you're not multiplying by 4, you're multiplying by 40. That is a product of 240. Now if we multiply by 400, we still have 24, but we have 2 zeros to add. That is a product of 2,400. And last but not least, multiplying by 4,000, we're still using that basic fact of 24, but now we're multiplying by in the thousands, so we have 24,000. Moving right along, problem number 8. 8 times 5. This should be pretty easy for all of us. We just count up by 5s and do that 8 times. And when we multiply 8 times 5, we have a product of 40, but we're not multiplying by 5, we're multiplying by 50. So this is a product of 400. Now moving right along, still knowing that 8 times 5. This right here, boys and girls, is why I tell students to write out the basic fact first, or why you've seen me model that, because we have a number that ends in 0. Over here, with the previous examples, our basic fact did not end in 0. It was 24 and 21. When students have a basic fact, such as 40, ending in the number 0, they often make mistakes and forget the number of zeros they have to add because they already have one here. So I have students that might write this as their answer. That's wrong. 500, and doing that 8 times, 8 groups of 500 would not be 400. That does not make any sense. That answer is not reasonable. The correct answer is 4,000. So be careful. Just get in the habit of writing out your basic fact first, and then adding on the zeros. So 8 times 5, again, is 40. That's what I mean when I say write your basic fact first, and then add on your remaining zeros for a product of 40,000. Let's look at number 9. 4 times 2,000. Many of you can probably count up 2,000, 4,000, 6,000, 8,000. 4 times 2 is 8. Add on your 3 zeros, you arrive at the same product, 8,000. Next number, number 10. 4 times 7. Again, if you did not know 4 times 7, you could cut the 4 in half and multiply by 2. 7 times 2 is 14, but you would have to double 14. 14 plus 14 would give you the basic fact answer, the product of 28, but then you have to add on these 2 zeros. You have a product of 2,800. See how important it is to know your basic facts? Number 11, moving right along. 6 times 60. I always like this one. 6 times 6 is 36. I just feel like it kind of rolls right off the tongue. But you have to add on that 0. Now you have a product of 360. Excellent. Let's turn it over. We're looking at the problems on the back. Number 12. This is a nice word problem. The Mississippi River is about 8 times the length of the Hudson River. So we're comparing two rivers here, the Mississippi and the Hudson. If the Hudson is about 3,000 miles long, that's the Hudson, about how many miles long is the Mississippi River? Write and solve an equation. So we have the Hudson River is 300 miles long. And then we know that the Mississippi River is about 8 times the length. If we multiply those two together, we should find the total length of MISSIPPI. The Mississippi River. We're using our basic facts, 8 times 3. 8 times 3, if I don't know that, I can think 8 times 2 is 16, and then add on another group of 8. That would give me a product of 24. And then I have 2 zeros. The Mississippi River is about 2,400 what? Feet, inches, centimeters? Nope. Back up here my problem. Miles. Good job on that one. Number 13. Ted, Jason, and Angelina are trying to raise $200. I guess that's represented in the bar model here for a local shelter. Ted raised 30, so that's Ted right there. Jason raised 90, so that's Jason. How much money does Angelina need to raise to meet their goal? Ooh, Angelina, you got your work cut out for you. So first I say, let's find out how much Ted and Jason raised together. 90 added to 30, 9, 10, 11, 12. So far they've raised $120 together. But we know the total is 200. So now we can subtract 200, take away 120. For those of you that were in our live session, you learned a little trick where we can take one away, making this 199. So we just took one away, so we wouldn't have to do all that like regrouping with zeros. Then we're going to subtract the 120. 9 minus 0 is 9. 9 minus 2 is 7. 1 take away 1 is 0. But then we have to add this back on. So 79 plus the one we took away is 80. Angelina, you have to raise $80. Number 14. We're going to use the table for these two questions. I guess it's ticket prices at an amusement park, it looks like. Funland ticket prices, okay. Number 14. There are 9 girls and 4 adults. So I guess that's like 9 kids, maybe, I'm assuming. And 4 adults in Amy's Scout troop. How much did the troop pay for tickets to the amusement park? So I'm going to find amusement park, which is right here, Plan B. And it is $40 per adult and $30 per child. So I have adult was 40. So we'll do child. We'll do kid first, and then we'll do adult was 40. So how many kids did I have? 9. And then how many adults? 4. So I have 2 separate multiplication problems there. I'm using my basic facts of 3 times 9, which is 27, and then bring down my 0. And then 4 times 4, I know that that is 16. Bring down that 0. Excuse me. So now I have these two products of 270 and 160. And I'm going to add those two together. 0 plus 0 is 0. 7 plus 6 is 13. And 2, 3, 4. They spent a total of $430. Last one. Tina visited Funland with her mom and a friend. They bought tickets for Plan C. How much money did they save on the 2 children's tickets for Plan C? So 2 children's tickets for Plan C instead of buying separate tickets for Plan A and Plan B. Good grief. Okay, so first we need to find out how much they spent on Plan C. So it's $60 per child. So 60 times 2 kids, that's 6 times 2, that's 12, and then bring down your 0. So they spent $120. I know that much. But now I need to figure out what they would have spent if they did Plan A and Plan B. So Plan A would have been, why don't we just do this? Let's add this total together. 30 plus 40, so they would have spent 70 total per child. 40 for Plan B plus 30 for Plan A times 2 kids. 7 times 2 is 14, and bring down the 0, that's 140. So if they would have spent 140, but they really only spent 120, we know they spent $20 less. So they saved $20 by doing Plan C. Great job today.